spreads its wings. A corruption so deep it poisons everything. But in the shadows, a group of heroes arise. Bound by courage, they'll never compromise. Through treacherous valleys and mountains high, they fight for justice, never questioning why. Their hearts ablaze, united they stand against the forces of evil hand in hand. Oh, hear the legends of our sacrifice. In the face of darkness, we will rise with valor in our hearts. We'll take a stand, defend us our freedom, we'll save the land.
Good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year. Matt Geary here for Geek Pride's Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign, The Legend of Our Sacrifice. We are back to normal this week. We have the regular party, so there will be no fucks, buggers, and or C-bombs in this session. Hopefully. It's going to be very hard. I think a lot of people are just going to go back into the old characters. But yes, we're back to the main party after our semi 4-episode one-shot finished off. But with us tonight we have Conrad as Arno Jerkel.
Can I get a rewind?
We have Michael as Tharval Eldon.
Good evening.
We have Jace as Brother Gaddon.
Say his name and he appears.
We have Lecky as Bartholomew Pringle.
You're right, Pat.
We have Mark as Lance.
Come on, it could be worse.
And Vic is Saren Sanguine.
I can't.
Oh, it's Maranta. Good start if we've
New
broken Vic
record.
already.
Broke her before she introduced herself.
Come on.
Okay, so we got a fair bit to sort of recap on. Obviously, we've had Christmas, New Year's, and all that gubbins. So the screen you're seeing in front of you as we speak is obviously from the that 4-session one-shot, which ties into what we're doing at the minute. Obviously, there was different characters. Sort of ended. I'll give you a quick recap on it. Ended with. Actually, no, I'm not going to. Watch it, and then you'll know. That's it. Well, I'm not going to do it.
Oh,
We're watch it. Why not? Watch it.
Turning wheels come off.
Look at the exciting stuff.
Speaking for views.
Yeah, and then we'll. That means one less thing for me to think about.
One viral TikTok video goes to his head. Keep it going.
One viral, 12 million, and it's not even me; it's my dog. This is the thing. I spend like hours, so I do like spend ages doing these things, doing battle reports, doing podcasts. Spend a lot of time and effort into things. My dog walks in out of the snow on a whim and gets 11 million views on views on TikTok.
It's all about looks, mate. You should know this by now.
Yeah, Matt, I think it's a skill issue. I just think it's a really big skill issue. You're just not dog enough. You're really not dog enough.
Oh,
Have you taken him to work as well? Does he boss that as well?
Yeah, it's like, do my work for me.
It just completely obliterates the office by saying, "Oh my god, it's a dog!"
Okay, so I will drop you back where we left off in the last session. It should be around here somewhere. Where did you go to? I had you a moment ago and you've disappeared. Oh no. This is a good start.
First one of the year, and he's already losing the plot. That's not a good start.
Already losing the plot. But okay, as I'm sort of quickly rummaging around trying to find the picture I'm looking for, we have the session which was 111, I think. 111 was our session. If people want to have a look at it, we basically got all the way back to the Temple of Devotion. Arno has met his brother, his long lost brother, has come back, but his brother was acting slightly odd and had himself this sort of backpack or satchel, which was brought to the Bastion of the Morning Star. What happened there? Who knows? You will have to check it out and understand. But he had that satchel. He brought it with him. They've gone to the Temple of Devotion, and he's basically tried to escape a couple of times, and then it's come to the point where he just refuses to let go of this bag. He's basically said that it won't let him. He goes from being pretty cold and evasive to breaking down, crying, basically saying he can't. He's trying to get away. You don't understand. If you know, it's going to kill everybody. And Arno, the loving brother that he is, grabbed a hold of him and dimension doored him out of the temple complex to basically save him from the High Paladin basically smiting him because he was basically not obeying orders, and that's what we're looking for there. So he's out of the temple complex. He's then basically tried to take the bag off his brother as well. He's not succeeded. He's then reluctantly banished him to another plane, and in that has rummaged through his bag, basically upturned it, scattered its contents on the ground, looking for what was in there. All he's found is like a locket with his mother's picture in it and a mug. He's got the same one. Him and his brother had the same set, and some he's done a check and he's found like pollen and some like little like dandelion type things like sort of like in there. They sort of dumped that stuff like spores, dumped it all over the ground, gone meh, I don't know, and then one of these sort of spores has gone up into the air and taken itself off. The High Paladin and the guards, who've basically not being too amused with this escape, have charged out, have arrested Arno, have arrested his brother, have clamped them with anti-magic amulets. They've created a lockdown in the temple complex, and they've basically set fire to the area where the bag was, finding out that the High Paladin very well knows about the False Hydra and the damage it can do to an area, having obviously been around during the incident in Waterside. So he did not want this infecting this area. What happens next, I guess we'll find out. But apart from that, have I missed anything else out? What have we got? As Arno and his brother are being marched off, Kivy sort of appears to his side and sort of smiles and gives him a bit of a wink. But she's sort of kind of trying to stay outside of the anti-magic field and stuff, so she's sort of off in the distance. I think there's something else. I'm not sure if I've missed something that was in there. How about everything else? Was there anything else that happened of import that I've missed?
I can't remember.
So everybody else is fine, or have they been arrested?
You're sort of, I think he sort of trusts the others. I don't think he fully trusts. We haven't got to that point yet because I don't think we had those conversations. The only two people who have been arrested are Arno and his brother. You've been basically, with the nod from Nilesil, basically Nigel, yeah. He's
oh no, he knows his Nilesil now.
Yeah, he does know he knows he's the former, the avatar of the former Grandmaster, master of the Dragon Knights. So he knows he's reluctantly said, you were going to help, and he said, okay, you can help. But but obviously we haven't had any conversations with the rest of them. I feel like there was something else that I'm missing.
There was the spy, wasn't there? There was that guy. The
Ah.
We
spy
beheaded
stuff.
someone.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we beheaded him, but we found out that he had been passing
Information.
everything about the area and stuff to the enemy, basically to Therenbor's camp. So he's basically turned around and said, so not only have you and your brother potentially doomed this place, but they know our demeanor, they know exactly what's happening in here, they know everything, and so isn't too happy at this moment
So
in
he was
time.
passing that to Therenbor or to Kiamat?
The Therenbor, so it's Therenbor who's like his
okay.
So Kiamat at this moment in time is just like her avatar, her sort of like the black-haired lady appears now and again, and sort of fucks with people, but she as a sort of, you know, dragon demonic presence isn't around. She uses Therenbor as her sort of sword, effectively, and Kiamat at Kiamat as well, and obviously there's that little mini civil war that could potentially be happening within that sort of thing as well, sort of that need for power and her the look upon her good grace. So
we can assume if that message was passed to Therenbor, I mean, we were transported to Kiamat's stronghold, right? So we can assume that Therenbor was passing Gondor's messages to Kiamat.
You don't know. That's stuff we can obviously talk about in in the thing. So it's is stuff to be talked about. So right.
Did we sort out Vicky's little issue?
I think so. I think you were cured, or you sort of kind of snapped out of it. I think you had some good constitution saves and other bits and pieces, and I think you were no longer infected by the hag. So yeah.
She got semen in her mouth.
Right. Okay.
Millennium-handed shrimp.
So
I guess that wasn't the C word we were talking about, were we? God.
Right. That is.
I can't with you lot tonight.
You can't.
Beg your pardon?
We weren't going to use that word.
What can't?
You can't.
You said you can with a try on it.
She just can't.
She can't. Right. Let's see if.
Cannot.
What about the timing?
She's dying.
I hate you all.
Vive la résistance.
Right. Okay. So, you get marched. You get marched through the main gate of the temple complex. The guards are effectively surrounding the entire party, and you get moved in to the complex itself. Everybody's sort of looking. There's a lot of people out looking at what's going on. They see the two brothers bound and getting led off to the cells. A high paladin turns to the rest of you. And I mean the rest of you, as in everybody bar Brother Gadden, who's sort of he's accepted as being at least semi-trustworthy, and says, "Stay close. Do not leave this complex. If you leave, I will take you as one of the enemy and have you killed. This is a very, very dangerous situation that your friends have put us in. Until I understand your loyalties, you will stay put and you will be good. Now, I must go and see to some business and then the interrogation of your friends. Please do not make me do anything I do not want to do."
Before you do go, then, we did suggest to cast the spell Forbidden so that you would not have any more magical intruders coming in.
I think I just did that anyway.
We did it anyway?
I
Yeah.
think it's just fuck that guy. Just
Okay, cool, fine. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, depends if Matt
Yeah, it's fine. The whole place.
I
for all-
remember. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I cast it at the start of the last session before we went and caught up with everyone else.
Yeah, I think for all intents and purposes, the whole place is just completely sort of
locked down. That's
locked
fine.
down. Everything they can, sort of every ward, every sort of possible thing.
Let's not labor it then, because in that case he won't say anything. He'll just remain sort of aloof, if you will, rolling his eyes almost at the dramaticism that the High Paladin's put himself in.
Okay, so how am I going to do this? No. Okay. Before we do that, roll me. See, this is an important thing if I go in this direction or not, because if I go in this direction, I have to commit to it, and I'm just trying to decide if it's worth it or not.
You roll a 1d20 and figure it out.
Okay.
Fail is half your age. Oh wait, no, you had to get nat 20.
Yeah, I went. 43. 43. All right.
Wow.
Okay. Okay.
Let's say
1 to 10, I'll do it. 11 to 20, I will not risk it.
Let's go. Risk it for the biscuit.
1, 2,
1, 2, 10. 1, 2, 10.
Come back next week.
Okay.
Really.
Okay.
He has to commit.
All right. Okay. Roll me. Okay. Actually. Arno and his brother are going to be surrounded by guard. Everybody's surrounded by guards. I'm trying to work out how this is going to work. So who's going to roll insight? I don't want everybody rolling because it'd just be pointless. Not insight. Perception.
That's easily Tharavel.
I am going to let.
Well, who would be paying most attention elsewhere than Arno being led away?
It definitely wouldn't be a Gadden.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do. It's going to be a Kivy rule. Okay, it's going to be a Kivy rule. She doesn't have stats, obviously, but she's going to be semi. So
high on wisdom.
She's going to be semi what?
High on wisdom.
Semi.
Who's got the highest perception here?
Me,
Between-
probably.
7.
Yeah, I'm guessing Tharavel.
Tharavel 7.
12 is 12. Serval's got 13.
Okay, yeah, that's too much. I think I want there to be some sort of some sort of being able
You need
to.
to, you
I
need,
should have
like,
just said
Davey,
Serval and just left it.
Yeah, or you
Give
could do it at
yourself-
disadvantage.
Yeah, give yourself 5
That-
minutes just to think about what you actually want the story to go with, and then just.
Tharavel's got 12.
Because at the moment, it's a lot of
I have
hodgepodging.
6 perception.
What's yours, Arno? What's Arno's?
+3. You know he has issues with wisdom.
Hey, just get,
Oh,
just
wait,
get Barty
I-
to do it. Get
I
Barty
can't
to do
do
it with his +1.
Yeah, it was
Barney
like
did-
5.
Basically a natural then, and
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think
Yeah.
Barty's
All right.
probably the character. Barty's probably the character that would most likely be looking around elsewhere.
Yeah. Go on then. We'll do that
Marty,
next.
Marty is 100% locked into this spore if there's still any chance that he can.
Okay. Right.
Or he's,
So,
or he's thinking. about
roll
it
me a
anyway.
roll me a perception check then.
Wow. He's talking to you, Michael.
13.
13.
21 on the other side.
Okay.
Wow.
Are you using any of your dice on that? You're just going to let it fly?
Oh, my potent dice.
I think you used the big one last time in the last session.
I did. It's not a new day, is it? Let's see.
Nope.
What I've
No,
got.
I'd
It's the
say
only
just
roll
wipe
I've used them
away,
all.
you don't know.
I've used
Yeah,
them all.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You don't see anything. No. That's right. Okay. This is where we're going. Okay. So you don't see anything as you're walking in, and then we carry on. He says what he says. You start getting marched off to the cells. Everybody else, obviously, Kivy doesn't. You sort of as you sort of look where Kivy is, and she sort of stops. She goes to sort of go in the door, and then backs off a bit, and you see her sort of grimace slightly, and look at you slightly worried. As you sort of kind of go in, you sort of pause as you're looking behind, and you get jabbed in the back by one of the guards and pushed on.
I spin around and block the jab and just say, "You can at least show a little bit of respect when you're busy being an arsehole."
I'm not going to roll. Okay, I'll just let you say it. I was like, roll intimidation. A fight breaks out on the stairs.
That's fine. They'll look pretty when they're rolling down face first.
Okay, so yeah, so she sort of you walk through this field, and she stops at the steps and just looks at you, and you see worry in her face. She was,
It's just Arno that can see her.
Yeah.
In this moment, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So you're in the facility as you're being taken down. You can, if you two want to say anything. Cyril's just from the last season. He just completely broken down, and is, he's mentally fractured at this moment in time, with everything that's happened. The rest of you can do what you wish.
Well, Arno will just say to Cyril if he sees him like that, and he says, "Do not worry, brother. We are together now. We'll find our way through, and we will leave together. I have been in worse situations than this, and I stand here before you."
He looks, he doesn't even look at you, and he looks at the ground, and he just shakes his head, and you can see sort of tears dripping down, head down, as he sort of effectively accepts his fate. He just carries on walking, doesn't say anything.
That's fine.
Anybody else want to say anything, do anything at this moment in time?
I quietly talk to the others, just quietly enough that the guards can't hear, and say, "We need to go along with this for the time being while we try and figure out what we can do. But we do know that the consequences are bad. I've already killed 2 of these damn things. So let's try and keep ourselves in a position where we can do something apart from pacing between walls."
In that case, I am going for a drink.
Very well.
I don't think we're allowed to leave.
Well,
I believe the
Well,
bar's
there's
outside.
somewhere in here that we can find some alcohol.
Come.
Loose lips sink ships, or open the doors.
Interesting. Yes, maybe a drink might be a fine thing after all.
if you do that, I'm going to go in a different direction and go back up to the tower for a little bit, because that will draw some of the guards away from you.
Very well.
Tharival, if you and your brother could maybe take a trip somewhere else, and you can try and break up the number of watchers, and you can sneak back and meet them at the bar, and I'll do the same thing.
Jailbreak, everybody, jailbreak.
So you're trying to lose guard. You're basically trying to lose guards. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Make their life,
I
easy.
concur.
Well, in that case, you're gonna need a distraction, so I'll just do my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Garen
he's-
throws off his cloak. Just like,
No. He's gonna start chanting the chant of divine imperious light.
Musical theatre style.
Yeah.
I close
no.
my eyes, drew back the curtain.
No, say his name and he appears.
Your hand raised.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Do you know
It's
what?
only a matter of time.
I feel like I've got like a gospel sort of Bahamut song in here somewhere.
You
Yeah.
will have at this rate. If you haven't before, you will have soon.
I mean, I could go like I could just whip out something from my own Baptist Christian
Oh,
background.
way.
Hey-oh.
Get out, lads.
Way, you mucky
Find out if
cow.
any of the guards are fairies, aren't we? He keeps whipping stuff out after throwing his cloak off.
Yay.
What's the deal with the I know I can't teleport and stuff because of like forbiddance,
Magic.
but can I cast any magic? Can I like work out
No.
how far this anti-magic business goes, or am I just
You
Bards
are,
is
for all
worried.
intents and purposes, completely well at this
Silence.
where you are. You're magically silenced. There's nothing that can be sort of done here. Where at
You
this,
have a speech bubble with 3 dots over your head.
in that case, Brother Gad and I will shadow you for a while, until we can work out where I may be able to cast some spells. I am beyond useless. You have my intellect, and that's about it.
Okay, fine.
Beyond useless. Brilliant.
I mean, the other thing that I'm trying to do is to see if I can find divine a way out of without using magic, and perhaps the big one up there can help us. But as they say, in many a place in this place, we're fucked. So let us at least create a diversion.
Why don't you have to pray for a bit?
These clerics aren't always strike me as the most. They may be wise, but their intelligence isn't. I think maybe if we can get high enough, we might be able to find a spot that is out of the limit.
I've got some pipe weed in my pocket.
I mean, the typical range of a spell of this kind of caliber is normally 20 yards. So I'd imagine this is a little bit more powerful, in which case, honestly, you'd have to go to the highest point or the lowest point of this place to even think about entertaining casting a spell. That's just my common sense kicking in, of course, but first we have to let these two find a way out so they can do other things while we do other things, you know?
Well, most it is then.
We may have to tunnel.
See you all in a little while.
Well, actually, before that, maybe we can find something inside the library that gives us a bit more understanding of the schematic of this place. Maybe there are places that we can get out of.
I guess Team Nerd is going to the library then.
Team Nerd.
I do wish you'd stop saying stuff. I would do wish you'd stop saying such offensive things. I'm not a nerd. I'm just very book smart.
There, Gavin. I kind of like reach up and sort of like, there, like pat him on the head, like there.
Hey, it really gets my feelings. You know?
Right in the feels.
This big ball of fur here is a very tender, but very ferocious individual.
Okay.
Don't take it personally, Gadden. It's just angry. He's always angry.
And I thought I had the problem. Right, shall we? And then he just starts bringing in "Shout to the Lord."
Is this Bertie moment? I want to see if this is the song that let's see if is this it.
I'll love it if it's Rick Astley.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down.
I want it to be something by Ghost.
Ghost, oh god, yeah.
Oh wow.
We're a stranger to prayer. Oh no, if it's Ghost, it's oh my God. My TV.
No, I think she means the metal.
No, the metal
band. You're so not with it, Gadden. God, you're so.
Whoops.
We get it.
You're so not with it, bruh.
Just go with "Wake Me Up Inside."
I'm still stuck in the 80s, goddammit. So stuck in the 80s.
I feel badly for Arno being stuck in a prison cell with only us to get him out. Be there for a while.
Like Garden's voice.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, he's a soprano. It's totally soprano.
Your praises we sing.
We've got top men working on it. Top men.
Yeah, sing. Okay, right. Anyway, enough of the nonsense. Right. So what everybody use? We've got 3 people trying to lose guards, and the other 2 with guards going. Or is everybody trying to lose guards? What are we doing?
No,
What did the guards follow us into the library?
Everybody. They're gonna. Yeah. They're. You know. The trust isn't fully with you.
These guys.
Well, I'm heading off in one direction. And
can we split off though
Yeah.
and have a guard with us?
Yeah, that's the whole point. Is to
Yeah.
Okay, great.
spread them out. Yeah.
Let's go lose them in the library. We'll talk. We'll read scrolls out aloud.
And then bore them to death. Perfect. I love the strategy.
At some point, they've got to sleep.
Exactly. Okay, cool, great.
And where are
I
we? Where are
will-
we meeting up then?
We'll find the bar.
Yeah,
Which is
well, no, the smart ones will go to the bar eventually.
I'll meet you there.
What
Yeah,
do,
yeah.
what do you think they'll do with the spore? Like,
Well,
They don't
Destroy
have
it.
this, as far as you're aware. See, I don't know, because it was Arno and his brother Cyril who were there.
I think only I saw the spore get released.
Yeah, I think he's the
sorry.
only one who's seen it, and he's not done anything. He's just sort of let it fly
Right.
off. So,
I haven't told anyone.
and he's not said anything yet. So, at this moment in time, they have, as far as you're aware, they've set fire to the contents of the bag and everything on the ground. So, that's all you're aware of. You could be safe. You might not be safe. You obviously have to be on your guard because. You know what happens otherwise.
I'm just
Okay.
currently suspicious. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Okay. So, who's doing what? Sorry, then.
I'm off to go back up to the top of that tower to see if there's a chance that we might be able to get some divine assistance and to draw at least one guard as far away from the others as possible.
Okay. Yep, that's fine. So, how many?
Sarah are off to be sneaky.
So the elves are off doing sneaky things.
Indeed.
Are you a part of sneaky elves, Saren? Are you
I am going to the bar.
on your with a guard basically, as with
Yeah.
a guard escort?
Update.
Update. Okay. All right. So, you're doing that. Other two are sort of wandering off to sort of try and lose guards. Gadden and Barty are off to library to
Sage kids, yeah.
and the jailbirds are off to the cells. Okay. So, how am I going to do this? By the way, what?
Going to the
Have you
guest
got
room,
a?
Sarah?
Okay, no, we'll just you've just sort of kind of gone. Let's
Wait,
lose
that's
guards.
all right.
Let's lose after being told to stay put. You're going. Let's go lose guards. So you're happy to carry on as.
Well, I thought we were told to stay, but as in, do we have to stay?
Yeah,
we're
like
supposed
within
to
the
stay
temple. I
like
didn't
on
want
the spot, or
yeah,
I'll
didn't
say
want
you're.
to
I think
like
you're
a
all
holding
right.
ring.
You're all right to sort of kind of wander around a
Yeah.
bit. I think, but these guards are going to be sort of shadowing you to sort of make sure that you're not up to
Yeah.
anything.
But I'm
Because
just
what was it he said? If we try to
pre-interpreting it.
leave, he'll consider us an enemy.
Yeah. If
And
we
we're not
try
trying to
to,
leave.
he'll
We're
kill
just
us.
we're just pushing the boundaries a little bit here and there.
Just testing
We're
them.
playing
fences.
teenagers.
Okay. Right. So, who do we want to start? Who wants to go first? Who wants to try and lose their guard first, I guess? No? Okay, nobody? We will go for, Tharaval and Ceravel then, I guess. So,
Keep stealth.
what are you doing?
They are going to go to. Basically, I think they're going to find an area of the sort of. Where is it? We are again. Sorry.
The Temple of Devotion. So you're within the central complex. There'll be lots of like ante rooms and places, but a lot of it will be shut off because you're currently locked down. So anywhere of importance will not be accessible. Well, potentially accessible by you, but not with the sight of the guards looking at you.
Well, I think basically then they'll probably go to somewhere that's maybe a bit busier, like more, like more people in it, and possibly try and lose them by blending in with the crowd.
Made it work for their money, eh?
Okay,
Yeah.
so where's that going to be? Yeah, with the sort of you have the refugee holding area, I guess, possibly, where they've all sort of come in and stuff. So you start walking off with Saravel, the sort of the captain of the guard, who's sort of tasked with looking after you, is sort of looks slightly surprised that you are walking off, nods his head to a guard who sort of starts following behind you. He's just walking behind you. He's not sort of making any. He's not trying to be secretive about it. He's just following you.
Yeah, Tharavel and Saravel, they're not, sort of trying to scuttle away from him or anything like that. They obviously know that he's there, and they sort of, they sort of turn around and like, come along, my friend, follow us. Let's go. We're going for a walk. And then he starts going, like tapping like he's a wee dog.
the guard sort of kind of cocks his head slightly, shakes it, and then looks back at the sort of, well, I guess it would be more of a sergeant or something, and he just shrugs, and you sort of walks off with you.
Okay. So upon sort of getting to the did you say it was like a sort of like refugee area?
Yeah, sort of refugee. Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of people, and probably a lot of sort of commotion and people in distress as to sort of being not being away from their home and everything like that. So I think Tharavel and Saravel will sort of go round and sort of give people like words of hope, and sort of offer their help and stuff like that, to create a good impression.
Okay. The guard sort of he follows. He sort of stays by the main entrance. There's sort of a main entrance that goes into the place, and he just sort of stays back at it. He knows the place very well, obviously. Knows its exits and entrances and stuff. So he stays at the main entrance and just watches you as you wander around.
Okay. And what other sort of ways in and out are there?
It's just like a main hall. I'll do a crude drawing on the on this because there's no battle map for it. I'll just do a crude drawing. Breath 1 minute. Let me.
We try not to shock the audience.
Yeah. Way. So let's do that. Rectangle.
2 towers at the end.
Okay, rectangle. We'll do that, and then we'll do
Round nave at the top. Bisecting wall.
And the person shouting, "They're taking the hobbits to Isengard!"
Taking the hobbits to Isengard. And then I'll just do. So there is a main entrance. So we'll just say it's like a big. Sort of door there. That again?
Said fizzy nostrils, Vic?
Yes. Turds.
Actually, make it smaller because I suppose the size it needs to be. Right, so there's a double door there. You then have. There's like a walkway up the center, which I'll draw in, and then you've got sort of columns here, and obviously this is meant to be a beautiful building and all sort of symmetrical and stuff. So let's do that there. That one is now going to annoy me because it's out of shape. There, we'll do one there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're listening and watching to Bob Ross.
Yeah. And then we need a.
We need some.
Have you
happy
watched
little
that
treats.
documentary about Bob Ross? It's messed up. Absolutely messed up.
I listened to the
There.
Reef one,
Yeah.
which is supposed to be really good.
Right. So you've got sort of central columns. You've got a walkway down the center. She'll just. Up. Sort of carpeted and stuff. On the oh, it shouldn't be elevator. You know what it is. You then have like camp beds and makeshift like little tents. This is a massive, like huge room. There's easily 1,000. There's easily sort of 1,000 people in here and stuff. Families of all kind. It's huge. There's tents areas and stuff. It is an open plan room with these massive sort of columns sort of jutting up down each side. There are sort of stained glass windows, though they seem to be sort of kind of reinforced on each sort of kind of wall flank, and then there's a main sort of one at the far end with sort of a picture of a dragon knight sort of holding up a flaming sword to the sky in the sort of kind of northern part of the temple itself. And that's about it. There is no main. Well, as you can say, as you're coming in, I wonder if I can drop in something you can use, which would be useful. Let's do. Oh. I was about to drop. I was about to drop in Simon Gunt there, and I was like, "No,
Yeah. Come on.
That's where he landed. He comes flying. He comes flying through the window.
All right, PCs. There we go.
Fuck me, and look what I found.
So there's Tharaval. I guess it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of. Can you control him at the minute? No, I don't think you can. Actually,
You can't.
You can't. Do you know what? I'll just get from another map, which I think there's one you guys were in. Yeah. Let's copies through from there. Well, that's an old one, that one, isn't it? Oh, no, I can't go on that one.
Old's a relative term, considering that we're on our 4th year or something like that, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah, 4th year, mad. All right, okay, so there is Tharaval. Let's copy that through. I'll stick one of these guys in as a guard as well. So we'll do that. And then splash. Alright. You're obviously going to be a lot, like, scale wise. This is so he's sort of kind of standing there. If you want Cervelle going off anywhere else, then just sort of, I don't know, duplicate yourself or something. But yeah, so he's sort of standing by the main door over here. There's people milling around pretty much everywhere within the area.
Okay. So yeah, Tharaval, the two brothers they just walk sort of straight up the center, sort of looking from side to side at all the the sort of people and the sort of hustle and bustle and everything like that. And as they do, again, as I said, they're sort of like giving sort of like encouraging words and everything like that, until they get down to the sort of far end. At which point they start to sort of go round, and they're sort of, just walking quite casually and everything like that. They're not sort of trying to be sneaky or anything. And they're sort of looking at the stained glass window and everything like that. And once they sort of get to the end, they move in behind one of the pillars, and just sort of sit there. But they're sort of doing it like a couple of kids playing hide and seek sort of thing. They're not, they're just like,
Yeah.
So they just sort of sit there to see what the guard does.
He just stays put.
Okay. So after a while, they're obviously, they're sort of messing about and everything like that. And they sort of come out and they sort of look at him and sort of do like a frowny face, or like, you're no fun. And then they go over and basically just start talking to some of the refugees, sort of asking them where they're from, and if you like, who's with them, and have they got family and things like that.
Give some of these flying around the place. They're all very similar looking refugees.
Bones.
I think you said before, your face looks familiar.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so you've got, a few of them mingling around there and over here and stuff. Okay. It's a very busy room. So you're talking to the refugees and stuff. They sort of look at you, and some of them aren't overly interested in what you have to say. Others give you a sort of the sign of Bahamut, and some just don't understand what you're saying because they don't speak common.
So basically, the ones that they will speak to, they sort of ask, is there anything that they need, or is there anything that they need done, or
the one of the sort of refugees, a sort of a little girl, sort of comes up and pulls your cape and says, "Excuse me, sir. I left my nun outside, and can you get it for me?"
What's a nun?
A nun.
Is it bigger than a baby's arm?
What's your nun? What is this?
It's my blanket. I dropped it when I came in here, and they won't let us out.
Your blanket? You must be very cold, and you need the comfort. Is there anything else that you or your family need?
The little boy says, "I'd like some candy, please."
Candy? Oh, that would be nice. He sort of says candy to sort of, he says it out loud to sort of try and get the attention of like sort of any more kids and stuff like this. Sounds a bit, yeah.
I was about to say.
Breaks out some pink glasses with a cigar. Now then, let me fix it for you.
But he's basically trying to get like a sort of draw a crowd and get their attention, sort of thing.
Yeah, as you hear that, a lot of the other guys, I'd like some as well, please. I'd like some chocolate. I want some ice cream. You sort of have lots of these parents trying to sort of, steer the kids away from these random people who are coming in here. They're sort of kind of moving in your direction. The guard sort of looks slightly perplexed at what's going on, but does stay put.
Well, the guy their parents warned them about.
So basically, he's like, "Come here, children. I will tell you where to find these things." And he sort of they sort of crouch down to the sort of like at the, the same sort of height as the kids and everything like that. And he starts whispering them, and he's still in behind the pillar, and he sort of this time he's a bit more subtle about it. He's Saravel sort of points down towards the guard and says, "Do you see that man? Don't look, but do you see that man? That man down at the door? He has lots. He knows where all the treats are. He will know where your what was it?
Non.
Non. He will know where your non is. He will also know where there are treats and sweets. You should all go and ask him."
The sort of eyes light up, and the parents sort of kind of look at you. You're gonna have to roll for the kids. Roll deception. You can have advantage because they're kids and they're gullible.
Wow.
Hey, he used to work on my brother all the time.
Yeah, so they're totally bought into this. You've got a lot of excited kids sort of going to ignite. You've got a lot of parents sort of going. Excuse me, what are you doing?
Again, they sort of look and they're like, oh, sorry, I'm just trying to help, and he sort of shrugs it off as if he's not sort of done anything, but he doesn't sort of follow after the kids or anything like that, he just starts, to sort of walk away off into the corner, and like as their kids are sort of running off towards the to the guard.
Okay, so okay. All right, okay. Yeah, the parents, the respective parents and stuff, if they're interested in stopping their kids, don't, or the ones who do feel through these kids' need for sweets and treats and stuff, and they literally just hoard around the guards, who is completely bamboozled by the fact that there's kids literally hoarding around him, demanding chocolate and sweets, and rifling through his pockets and things like that. So there's
so as this is going on, he says that the sort of parents aren't sort of following along. He's like, Tharaval's like, "Oh my word! I've made a terrible mistake. That's not the man I thought it was at all. He's a very bad, evil man. I sincerely apologize."
Roll me deception. Roll me deception again.
I really want you to succeed on this so bad.
Me too.
Nat 20.
Yeah. Okay. Some of the parents go, "You monster!" and they sort of kind of run up after, run up to try and get their kids. You've got this semi-stampede of other parents coming up to sort of go on, and you've got other ones coming along because they want to know what's going on. And by that time, the sort of the door area is completely rammed with screaming kids. Parents trying to find their kids. There's a big old heave-ho going on near the door.
So while this is going on, so that's the only exit basically, is there? Yeah.
Well, you haven't searched around.
Well, so basically, we'll go to do a perception check for anything of interest in the room. Let's do
Yeah, you notice there's like a small altar at the sort of base of the window in the north, and you sort of notice effectively like a trigger, and you've seen things like this before in your life, and you know that does something. You're not 100% sure what, but you know if you pull that lever, which is effectively it's kind of like it's on the side of the altar, part of one of the sort of facades of it. It could do something.
Does it go
Last
down
time I
with
pulled the
stuff?
lever, didn't the room erupt in flames?
Yeah.
Was it the wrong lever then?
Those flames made a
No,
fool of me. I
Paul.
need to get.
I know what it is. It goes ding when there's stuff.
So yeah, so basically they sort of see the lever, but in just before they pull it, they sort of while there's other people are sort of off like trying to herd their kids back again, they just sort of pick up some sort of items of clothes, like sort of cloaks and things like that, and just sort of drape them over their heads, just to which I'm assuming there's going to be some
You'll get stuff. Yeah, you'll find stuff around you.
And they sort of hurry over to the altar and pull the lever. Pull the lever!
So you're not investigating it, you're just pulling it?
Just gonna pull it.
Pull the lever!
Okay.
Pull the lever, Grant.
That's right.
Yeah. As you pull the lever, these flamethrowers come out of the wall. No. Okay, you pull the lever, and you sort of have this moment where you sort of kind of think back to the traps and that thing, and
they sort of brace, they sort of
sort of you sort of feel your cloak, and you sort of kind of but this sort of small doorway sort of appears, sort of opens up in the side of the altar. It's effectively a crawl space.
Okay, so they crawl into. Is there another lever on the inside or anything like that, or?
Yeah, they're sort of it'll shut. Yeah, with another leather. Yeah.
Okay, so they'll crawl in, and once inside, they'll pull the lever on the other side to close over the door.
Okay, yeah.
I kind of want to hang around to see what happens.
You hear sort of lots of noise and stuff, and you sort of hear, the voice of the guard sort of telling kids to bugger off, and parents to sort of stay back, and where are they, and stuff like that going on as you go into the sort of kind of effectively a secret passage that sort of takes you down down a level. It's quite dark, but you've got obviously dark vision, so you're handy enough to sort of kind of start descending down these stairs. Right. Okay, who's next?
Secret tunnel.
Okay, Lance. So you're standing there. You see Tharval and Ceravel sort of wander off with their escort. And what are you doing?
I just shake my head and say, "Screw this! I need some time to myself. This is turning into one of those days." And I start walking off towards the set of passageways that led me to the tunnel I went to before, or to the tower I went to before.
Tower. Yep. The sergeant sort of looks, sort of sighs a bit and sort of sends another guard off in your direction, who again sort of just follows you a few steps behind and stuff, doesn't say anything, just walks with you.
So I keep walking, follow the corridor away, and then there's a point where the corridor branches.
Yep.
And one branches out of his sight, and as I step sideways, I manifest an echo and send it walking straight, and step into an alcove.
Okay, yeah, the guard. Oh, I'll roll a. Is it D20? Ooh. On a 19. He just stops. The echo moves forward, and the guard stops, and then just sort of turns and looks at you. He doesn't say anything. He just.
I smile, manifest the echo next to me, who just winks at him and then blinks out, and then I carry on walking along the corridor the way I was, that branches off, heading towards the tower.
Okay. Yep. So you make your way up into the tower. It's not the highest point of the complex, but it's used by some of the monks to pray in. The guard stops you before you walk in. He walks into the room itself, the main sort of room itself, has a look around, picks up a few random items, walks out with them, and then stands at the door.
I just shake my head and chuckle, and walk in and sit down. After rearranging my weaponry, and sit with my legs crossed and close my eyes to see if I can find some answers, or at least reach out to Bahamut to see if there's any chance he can hear us.
Okay. Roll me religion. Ooh, okay.
Tasty.
Yep, nice. You can explain what you're doing and what you're. So you're just sort of cross-legged or sort of sitting on the.
Sat cross-legged on the floor. That was all.
Yep. Okay. You sort of close your eyes. You feel slightly odd doing it because you're not a religious creature. But the past has shown you that there is more to this world, and the old man has helped you in more than one occasion.
Even in this place.
Yeah, even in this place. So you close your eyes and you find yourself in the bastion of the Morning Star. You find yourself sitting in the main sort of residence of Guard Captain Girk. There seems to be an eerie silence. Usually when you've had these sort of kind of dreams, the old man and other things have made themselves known to you pretty quickly. There's just a room with a candle, and you know the room. You've been there before. You've reported to the guard captain before in that room, so you know it well. But you find yourself sort of sitting there in this chair, in his chair even.
So I sit there for a moment and just look around to see if there's anything that appears different that could be a sign. Know that the old man can be subtle at times, though not always.
Yeah. Roll me insight. Okay. You notice sort of in front of you there is some scroll work, and you here's a question. What happened to Callow, by the way? Was he killed outside?
Yeah, he was killed on the
Killed.
He was killed by Frenchie.
By
the barricade.
Yeah. Okay. So you sort of see it's a scroll work on the table in front of you. You see that there are runic signatures that are sort of kind of throbbing and glowing. You recognize this as their what did you call it? What was it, Jace?
Black.
Code Black.
Mhm.
You sort of recognize.
Code Black, yeah.
Yeah, you recognize this as a Code Black, and that sort of concerns you because that's something that has last resort moment, and as soon as you see those glyphs sort of shining, you see a shadow of a very large sort of neck swinging past the window. You then sort of wake up from your dream.
I sit straight up and go, oh, fuck. I put my head in my hands for a second, and I get up and walk up to the guard and say, I need to talk to the High Paladin.
The guard says to you, I need to talk to the sergeant first. Come with me.
Lead on.
And he sort of takes you back. He takes you back down to the main sort of kind of courtyard area where his sergeant is. All right. Vic. Sorry. Saren. I was going to say Selena. Saren. Celine. First killed. You're off to find a drink. Is that what you were doing?
Yes, I am going. I'm assuming there's like a mess hall or something in here, if not an actual bar.
There was a bar that we found, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's an area where they're sort of like set up for you can have a few drinks. Again, you get followed by a guard.
Yeah, I'm not trying to lose him. I'm not trying to like give him the slip or anything. I'm just literally walking straight to the bar, getting a drink, sitting down, and I'm listening and I'm observing what is going on around us.
Okay, is there anything specifically you're listening out for?
I'm listening to like any rumors about like why the place is on lockdown.
Something to acknowledge her. Sorry, that came out of nowhere.
You're not sorry. You're not sorry.
Okay, so because what are you aware of? Because are you not sort of pretty much aware of what's happened and why it's been locked down? Where were you when everything happened?
I think we were like running to catch up with them because we don't know about the spore, do we?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they got there when the High Paladin was sort of.
Yeah, you sort of
when he was like incinerating stuff.
You do notice a few people giving you sort of side eyes, and there's some murmurs about treachery and magic, and that this is all this has happened because of these adventurers who've come recently. You see one of the sort of kind of soldiers go past, and he knocks into you slightly, and sort of walks off, or yeah, unless you want to try and do anything, but he sort of knocks into you slightly and walks off.
I'd like roll my finger up his back.
And yeah, so you just got sort of people looking a bit edgy. Nothing, there's no information that relates to, other than they don't understand really why it's happening. Some of them just think, this all seems to be happening because you guys are here. And that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Notch. She's not lying. Okay, are you doing anything else there? The guard's sort of sitting on a table beside you. I'm not really. He's just sort of not looking at you, but sort of looking at the surrounding area.
I sort of like look at him and go, "Cheer up, honey. It could be worse."
He says nothing. He just sort of carries on doing his job.
Oh, strong and silent. I see.
You come over. You get a drink. You get offered a drink. The bar, the sort of serving wench comes over and offers one to the guard, who just shakes his head. And
Oh, go on, sweetie. One drink won't hurt.
roll me persuasion.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Damn it.
Yeah.
And there was me saying that I used to have lucky elves.
Want help? It sort of reminds me of like me and my mate being in Belfast and trying to, there being quite an attractive older woman there, and she talked to us, and as she did, her teeth fell out into her beard. And we're like, oh, okay. I gotta feel like something there. You're like, oh, honey, what do that? And you're sort of drool into your beer. So he sort of he just sort of looks at you and just sits back and carries on observing the area. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit there and very slowly drink my drink and like just watch the area.
Okay. All right. Nerds, what are you guys up to?
To the library.
Yes.
Okay, so the sergeant and the final guard sort of follow you towards the library. Or sorry, actually no, the sergeant stays put. The final guard follows you towards going towards the library.
So at that point, Gadden's gonna just sort of look at Barty and then smirk, and he says, "So, Mr. Gardy, what's your name?"
He doesn't say anything. He just sort of stops when you stop and just stands there.
Well, no, he's gonna keep walking as they go to the.
Okay, just walks and
we're walking and talking.
Yeah, just walks.
Listen, if you're gonna be stoic about it, that's absolutely fine. But I'm actually gonna do some research with my colleague here, Bartholomew, because if we have any hope of figuring out how to stop this false Hydra, I'm gonna need a little bit of your help. So our combined IQ, yes, yours included, because you seem like a smart person. There's nothing vacant in the brain. We all can be part of something instrumental, you know. So tell me your name. Otherwise, we can sit here in awkward silence, and I'm just gonna keep getting you to fetch books until you're dead.
Roll me persuasion.
This is gonna go fun because he's not very good at being persuasive. Oh, apparently he is. Okay.
Oh!
Wow! Oh, it's not a nat. It's an 18 plus 2.
Yeah.
Okay. The sort of guard semi-relents, sort of looks behind him slightly and goes, "Private Stevens." Well,
right,
he says, I was first in my academy,
Well, it shows. There's a sparkle in your eyes that says that you're not a dumbass. So, Private Stevens, or do you have a first name? Should I just call you Private?
It's what's his first name going to be?
Steve.
Stevens. Yeah, he sort of goes. It's Steve. Yeah, I know. Just call me. Just call me Stevens.
I don't judge. I'm a cleric. I have to be agnostic. So, you're gonna be of use to me because, one, we're gonna find a way to elevate. Because we need to figure out this false Hydra bullshit, how far it will spread, and find a way to prevent it. Otherwise, we're staying put and we're all gonna go mad. Now, all this research that me and Bartholomew are going to do, hopefully we'll find a way to not only prevent it, stop it from getting to the point of insanity. Do you Do you spend time in this library?
He stutters slightly. He's like, no. Sorry.
Good. I like honesty. It cuts out the bullshit and wasting of the time. So, if you don't spend time here, what do you know about false hiders? If you know nothing, it's fine as well. We're not perfect.
Some of the lads have told stories about Waterside and the other incident apparently in Cragmere, but you know, as far as I know, just old wives' tales, myths. You know, something to tell us kids to keep us in bed.
What happened in Waterside? I didn't read the document.
He goes, nothing. I've spoken out of turn. I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble.
Well, it's either that or you die. Do you want to choose which one you want? Because I tell you what, there's no in between and cake.
He gets a bit fidgety and he's like, fuck. Roll me persuasion again.
Sure. Turns to Barty for help as well. It says, well, you know, Barty, there is a share of glory, isn't there, if somebody is able to help us, right? Normally the case when we do this.
Of course, we'd loaded beyond compare. Promotion, I'd imagine.
Can I get an advantage, please?
Significant wages.
Yeah. yes, you can.
It's gonna fail.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he just I can't. Sorry.
Fine.
I shouldn't even talk to you. Sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. We will. As
Why?
Bahamut is my witness.
Why not engage in simple conversation? What's the matter? Is that an order?
It is no. It's just the nature of the conversation. We can't get him to talk.
He seems more reticent to talk to you, Barty. Obviously he's aware that at least the High Paladin will talk to Brother Gaddon, and there's some trust there, but he's being told something by his officers, and seems slightly not as chatty towards you.
Don't be mean. You two are the same race. Why are you talking to me like I'm a friend, and then meanwhile you two are like practically like ostracizing each other like you've got some sort of venereal disease?
He says he sort of straightens himself. So I'm not ostracizing him. I have orders. You at least have had some sort of good communication with the High Paladin. He, on the other hand, is a question mark. I'm sorry, sir.
Yes.
I appreciate you've done much for us, but I have been told to keep an eye on you, not fraternize with you.
Very good, very good. Will you follow me into the library then, and you can make sure I get up to no good.
Gaddon laughs and just gives Stevens a hearty pat. We think you're gonna be fine. Don't worry, we'll have you covered. We'll make sure you have a glowing review.
Is there any way that I can whisper to Gaddon or get a message across to him without Stevens
Stephen Stevens.
getting an air
Stephen
for-
Stevenson.
Private Stevenson, yeah.
You can try a sleight of hand or something, I guess, to try and
Oh, hang on. Shit. Okay. Languages is the way we go there. So you say something, and I'm gonna try and see if I.
What languages do you know? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Where am I? So
See, this is what I quite like about there being no options, because you have to think outside the box for a lot of stuff.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's probably the worst thing to give me because I'll think way outside the box. I'll think outside the sphere. I'll break
I
blocks,
noted.
Remember?
I'll try a crafty little bit of Elvish, and I'll just ask Adam. I'll just be like, do you know what you're looking for in this library?
Oh shit! So then he doesn't know what he's saying, so he passes back in Celestial and says, "I don't know what you're fucking saying."
And then straight back into common, and Barty's gonna be like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Do you, any he'll just try Sylvan.
Oh
For
my
some
god!
reason.
Yeah, go, and then he'll be really confused, and then he swears in Infernal. Fuck!
He's like he recognize with it.
Is that like German?
It knows it's a curse. And he goes, "Oh, that's a good one." And he tries a couple of his best dwarvish curses.
Oh god! To which then so he knows at this point he's barking up the wrong tree, so he just says, "Well, for fuck's sakes, Clothis, would you give me a bone?" And Leonin.
The guard just like looks at you all very confused.
Oh,
I'm
and-
sorry
but
for this
but
poor
if he-
god
but
because
he-
he's supposed to be going like that constantly.
But if he's confused, then he looks and he takes advantage of this immediately. And can I roll insight to see how confused he is?
Yeah,
To the point where he could probably take advantage of him.
yeah, okay.
I feel so sorry for this poor god right now.
Yes!
Yeah, he's completely perplexed by this whole thing. He's like, he's trying to figure, like, he's thinking back to his training to see if he can figure out, and I think he recognizes the swear word in Infernal, and he sort of like, and he sort of looks at you like with massive shock because that's like a really bad word and stuff, and then he
just grabs him and he says, "What did you hear? What did you say? You look like you're confused." Stevens, stay with me. Stay with me.
He sort of is like, you swore in Infernal. You said, and then he sort of looks at it and he whispers, like the worst words that ever could exist.
I didn't say anything. That's the thing. Barty, shit. The spores. He's got them.
No,
Oh,
he started
right.
hallucinating already.
He
Yes.
Yeah, he looks at himself. He starts sort of kind of brushing down his cloak and stuff, and like
And then
you
he
know,
just,
go,
like,
"Whoa,
start
what do you mean? What do you mean?"
And then he's-
Did you
and
see
he's
what
not-
happened outside? Were you there outside when it happened?
And then he starts saying in like Celestial, he was definitely outside. He was definitely outside. And then he locks eyes with Barty, winks quickly.
Okay, so roll me deception, I guess.
Brilliant. Here we go.
You can have an advantage on it because Barty's hopefully playing game.
Oh, please.
Yeah. Okay. So the Stevenson, it's like, oh, what do you mean? And he starts sort of like stripping off some of his armor and stuff, and like,
No, don't. Stop. Don't get naked as much as it's exciting. So put it back on. Put it back on, and you need to keep your faculties in check, and then start speaking in Celestial again. And then afterwards go back, and he goes, "You need to focus. Now, if you have a spore in you, we have spores as well. So we're fucked. The only thing that happens is one of two things. Either lock the door and don't let anyone out, and we stay inside the library, or you go run and you tell that there are spores in the library and wherever we walked. Now, I don't know what your protocol is, but my protocol would be doing the run, but also either one is safe, whichever one you've been told to do.
Wait, so you're asking him to go and set off the alarm that there's something in the complex?
He doesn't know. He's just trying to get rid of him.
Can I just tell him to go report to this medical bay?
Oh, shit. Of course.
Quarantine himself.
Sorry.
Send a relief guard. We'll wait too.
Okay, fine.
Give us
Yes.
some time.
Go get yourself checked out with another medic, because I'm a medic, but I'm not. I'm infected. You need to find a second opinion
No,
quickly.
He's not infected. He's infected.
Oh,
He's
yes.
infected.
Oh, yes, he's infected. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
One minute. Let me just roll something here.
And he goes,
Yeah,
I think it's infernal.
had he rolled sort of high, I would have been like, but yeah, he's still a bit panicky, so he's not really paying attention to the back and forth.
Oh, and then the other symptoms as well. If you start hallucinating, and you start feeling a little bit woozy, your mouth is dry and parched, and you feel like you need to urinate regularly, and also, if you have a fever. Do you have a fever? And he puts his hand on his head. Do you have a fever? No,
I start-
no,
Oh,
not yet.
You sure you'll stay here? You do
Oh,
not.
promise. I am such a nerd. I love books.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're on a bound.
We'll. I'll be right. Oh my! And he just sort of he sort of puts his hand up and then starts wiping stuff down on his body again, and then he runs off to the med bay effectively.
Barty, just as a reference, as soon as he runs off to the medway, he turns to Barty and says, Leon in Celestial Infernal.
That's absolutely useless.
I know.
Yes.
What was you talking
Elvish.
about?
Silver.
I know, fuck all. Then. But we need to find a common language other than common next time.
I'll put my mind to it.
Well, I'll learn the Elvish because you got the elves here anyway. I might as well. All right. So we got rid of him, but we don't have much time. What are we looking for, and what are we doing?
A secret passage out. I don't know. We just need to find a way around these magical.
So we need an archive of a map.
Yes.
Go look for maps. Let's look in the forbidden section as well. Is there? And then he just looks around to see if he can find a librarian.
Then what did he mention? Do you know of Waterside?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. He said that there was an incident with a false Hydra in Waterside. So I don't think that they're gonna have any They'll keep that with the High Paladin, but
We can ask Lance. He's mentioned going toe to toe with these things.
okay, fine. In that case, we just need the map. We can find the map. We find the whole place. Then that's it.
As old a map as we can find. There must be some sort of.
Okay.
secret tunnel.
I'll move you through it, but you find a sort of librarian, and she just sort of points you in sort of different directions for different things. So roll me. So you're just looking for a map currently? Is that what you're looking for? Just a map?
Like a map with like a way that we might be able to like slip out of the building, or
Okay.
Like,
Roll
We're
me.
looking for places that
some obscure part of it
Catacombs
that
or
might be long
everything.
forgotten.
Yeah. So roll me an investigation. You can have advantage because they're both.
good because I'm not smart.
Oh,
Whoa! Very wrong. This has gone very wrong.
Could have gone very wrong. Okay, so yeah, you search around. It's a large library, but you do find some old like not sort of like blueprints, but you sort of schematics, and you of the history of the temple complex itself, and you sort of notice that there was newer additions to the complex, and within them there seems to be a room that has been built over but still there. So you realize it's like it would have cost too much money and been too much of an issue to deal with, so they've basically just bricked it up and built around it, and it's still there.
Does that room take us outside?
Does
it go outside of the complex?
Yeah, so it's is it gonna take you outside? It will not take you outside, but you are pretty confident that it's probably not going to be warded by any of the magic that is sort of surrounding this area.
Okay.
Lovely.
So that's our bet, which means that's the place where we do the teleport to get out.
Yeah. So Anything else? Could have it as a base of
Um,
operations.
Yeah, of course, because we're fucked without our magic. Well, you more than me. Okay, so we need this book. We need to give him another one. Looks in his bag, sees if there's a book that's similar binding and coloring to it. It's so he can replace it because he wants to take that book and he wants to be sneaky.
Books.
Okay.
And also, he's gonna see if he can find a book on, so he can learn it. Or Elvish, sorry.
Okay, yeah, you know, there's lots of books on Elvish and stuff, so that's fine. You can.
In
Okay.
downtime, I'll learn Elvish and I'll talk to you about that later.
Okay.
And that way I can add it to my repertoire.
All right. Finally, the jailbirds. So you the rest of the party are sort of kind of standing there. You see the High Paladin walk off with some of his guards off to, you know, up the stairs to his main sort of kind of you know, where he was before. You get sort of taken down these winding stairs to the cells of the complex itself. There's torches, and you know, it's relatively well. It's not a dark and dingy sort of generic sort of dungeon. It's lit. It used to be used by a lot of the monks and stuff for, you know, the sleeping quarters and things. They've just converted it effectively into a makeshift sort of cells because of all the people who are sort of in there. You get sort of put into separate sort of cells, sort of separated by quite thick walls, and sort of very heavy planked wooden doors in front of you. They put in there. They don't say anything. They just place you in there. They're not forceful or anything. They just sort of like put you in the room, and then they close the doors and stand outside beside the doors.
Did I have everything that was on me confiscated?
Yeah, you've got you've got nothing of any no. Yeah, you've got basically. Well, is there anything you would have tried to have hide? You would try to hide.
I would have.
Your ring, I don't know, sort of.
The ring. What? When you rewatched the last episode, did anything happen with my ring? Did I throw it somewhere?
No, there's no mention of the ring, actually, to be fair.
Okay. Yeah. I would have had it on me. Yeah. I would have been.
Yeah, I don't think they're. You know,
I think I would have been wearing the ring then in that case.
Yeah, so you've still got your ring, effectively. Yeah.
So. Okay.
Okay. You sort of hear some sobbing from the room beside you, as you hear your brother sort of break down into tears. That's it. Your brother's crying in the cell next door.
Okay, so they're separated by very thick walls, but not enough that we can't hear.
Yeah, you can't talk to each other. You can talk to each other. Sorry, it's just sort of slightly muffled, but yeah, you can sort of talk to each
other. Okay, I think if he hears the sobbing, he'll just sort of sit there and sigh, sort of playing with the ring on his finger, and he'll just say, "Cyril, I'm still here. Be strong. You don't know the friends that I'm with. They will find a way. I will find a way."
You hear it gets slightly more clear as there's like a little bit of a gap in sort of like the mortar of the wall, like a very minuscule sort of kind of gap as he sort of talks through it. I have killed us all. Arno. I know Jarek. He calls you Jarek. He'll know you as Jarek, won't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's as if something came over me. I couldn't help it. I wanted to hold you and hug you and say I've been searching for you for so long. I wanted to kiss your head and I wanted so much, but I couldn't. All I had was the protection of that bag. And I fear I have doomed not only this place, but this land, for what it held is more evil than anything I have ever. And then he just sort of breaks down, crying again.
Arno's still sort of, he knows something bad's happened, but he doesn't really understand the context of what's happened in its entirety. So he'll be saying, Cyril, you clearly were not yourself. If you only knew what I have done, the influences I have felt over the last weeks, the last months. I have, and he kind of looks to the side, instinctively, even though he's alone, and sort of goes like that and says, I have almost killed all my companions on more than one occasion. Tell me, the High Paladin seemed incensed at the situation. He burned the whole bag. I believe it was to do with those spores that were within. I have heard some talk, and I believe this is what you're alluding to, that you were behind. I don't believe this was you, but you do need to tell me what is going to happen.
He basically regales you with a story of being wandering Freya after you left, after he'd effectively escaped himself from his father, your father's abuse, and he sort of had dedicated himself to trying to find you. Like yourself, he fancied himself as a bit of a musician. Obviously, you were both quite talented in your attempts at sort of distracting people before sort of stealing from them. But he tells a story of making his way to this place called Waterside, and finding a lot of kindness and people, good people, and he had work there and everything was brilliant, and then he came across he didn't. Sorry, he found a lot of people, and he was sort of kind of found some sort of happiness in this area, and then suddenly people just disappeared. He said it's hard to explain. It was just they didn't exist. They just weren't there anymore. And he then said, I remember there being a moment where the reality crashed down and these enormous emaciated human looking human skulls, but like as big as houses, as big as towers, with necks coming up from the ground, overlooking this village. It's a pure nightmare. I remember their demise at the hands of some soldiers, and I remember the order, or the more soldiers coming to clean up the mess and deal with it. I was going to ask for help, but I found it, and it made me feel good again. The death and the destruction disappeared. I was happy again. It bade me stay in the village, so I hid. And I stayed there until it got bigger, until your friend killed my friend. And he sort of shakes it off. And he says, "No, not my friend. He killed it." But I carried its seed. I carried the spores. It bade me look after them. It was as if I was entranced. I could not be parted with it. I could not be parted with anything within that bag. I told myself it was because of our mother's locket, or because of the tankard that we both have. But it was because of the spores. And now, if they have been released, this place will go the same way as Waterside, and you will disappear from my life again, brother, and I will forget you.
That will not happen, Cyril.
You don't understand. You've not been through it. You don't understand.
But my friends have. This evil that you speak of, I have heard them speak of it again. Before our paths crossed, some of them also mentioned Waterside. They have dealt with this beast. I believe it is called a false hydra. I did not pay much heed before, because it's something that they did not really want to talk about. But now I know you have been affected as well. It is the same. They know how to deal with this situation. We are safe in their hands, and I do believe that we will be okay. The one thing I know is you will not lose me again. I will make sure of it. You may have lost your tankard and the locket, but we do not need those. We have our memories, and you can share mine. And then he kind of tries to think in his sort of internal monologue. He's just like, "Oh shit, you really fucked up this time, Arno." And then he just goes, "Oh, Cyril, did you know I've slain a dragon?"
I have forgot. Yeah, I've slain a dragon. Okay. His tears sort of, they don't stop, but it sort of turns to mild amusement. And he's sniffling. He says, "Are you sure you're not affected by this, brother? Because Dragon Slayer, you are not."
Perhaps not as you once knew me, but a lot has changed. I have traveled much. I have enhanced my skills. There is much I could tell you, but this will come later. It will be difficult for you to understand as well. My friends that I travel with, we have traveled far and wide, and we are currently embroiled in something bigger than everything. Something that the old me would never have cared about. But through loss and love, I have found a reason to care again. And it is my duty to see this through. That is why I believe in a future. It's why I know we will get out of here. Did you know I've also communed directly with Bahamut?
Who? Who?
But Cyril? Bahamut, the great, all-knowing, wise old man Bahamut.
That god. Oh, yes, the dragon god. Right, I see. He sort of he's a dragon slayer, communing with gods. Are you sure
Arno
you're?
chuckled
Yeah.
through the wall. I knew you wouldn't believe me.
Well, you were always a talker.
That I
You were
was.
always very good at that, brother. Unfortunately, I know you too well. I'm not sure if I believe you.
Cyril, it's been many years. You did know me, and you know the true me. But there are parts of me that you don't know. But you will learn. For now, believe me if you like. Don't if you don't want to. It matters not. But know I'm here. Only this wall separates us. And he tries to sort of poke his finger through this hole. Like, is it too small for a finger?
No, I
Or-
reckon you could get a finger through.
Quite.
You could do
And how-
a gay little finger through it. If you want.
I imagine it to be quite generous in size.
And how do they can will the tips meet?
Oh God!
Is there something to be
Oh,
said
man.
about docking this?
Oh god.
This is important. This is
Touching
important.
tips with your bro, man.
Yeah, you're touching tips. Yeah, I guess.
So we can touch fingers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as Arno feels Cyril's finger, he kind of
Sure, that's a finger.
he pauses and he's just like, holy shit, this might work. And he withdraws and he says, Cyril, hang in there. Are you sound of mind once more, or do you feel any influence still of this evil?
He basically says that his memories are slowly coming back to him. He doesn't feel the influence of it anymore.
And how can you be sure?
He says the silence. I can hear silence again. Or no, not silence. The silence is gone. I can hear again. He sort of explains to you that the Hydra sort of emits a sort of song, but it's like a song of silence. It's the music of silence. It provides something that blocks out a lot, and he says, I feel my mind again, or I didn't feel it before.
He says, okay. And he quickly looks to the side. Are the guards like there with their backs to us? Are they paying us any attention? Or...
There's sort of like they're sort of standing outside each cell, just waiting for the High Paladin to sort of make his way come down.
Okay. So Anna says, Cyril, soon I will ask you to trust me, to let yourself be open to something. I need to ensure that this happens without any eyes upon us. And he says that in a kind of a more hushed tone. And he checks the guards again. And he takes off his ring, and he just sizes it up with this hole in the wall, and finds that, you know, as he expected, if his fingers fit through this hole, as does his ring, at least a little way in.
Yeah.
And then he pulls it out again and just double thinks about things. He'll check again for the guards.
Yeah.
At the guards. Are they?
No, they're
looking
not paying
for-
attention. You know, they know you're taught, but they're not really bothered by what you're doing or saying and stuff.
All right. As long as they're not looking, he'll sort of whisper to Cyril. Are any of them watching you now? Can anyone perceive where you are?
Who's watching? Sorry, the guards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody's looking at him.
All right. So he says to Cyril, do you trust me?
Yes.
Then let us touch once more. Stop it.
That's my dip if you want to live.
And he'll place the
my
ring
finger.
on his pinky finger or whatever fits.
Right. Before we start this, are you, just so I know the direction you're going in, are you going to try and transfer the ring to him? Do you know?
No.
Right. Okay. Because I was going to say, you know, both of you have those amulets on, so.
Yeah, but okay. My perception of this is that is because it's something divine. I thought it would be completely separate from like something magical. In terms of like the sort of being that ability of being pulled into the ring.
Yeah. Okay. I'd say.
And then the one drawback is obviously the ring is left. So my plan is to sort of touch willing Cyril, leaving the ring in the hole in the wall, and sort of transfer into the ring space, and hopefully, you know, come out when it's safe and or until the party finds the ring. Hopefully they will think of something.
The party never find the ring. Arno and his brother stay in the wall for.
No, I can only stay in there for 8 hours. So it's literally like we can hear what's going on outside. So obviously I'm expecting there might be a panic when they find the cells empty. I'm hoping maybe the cell doors might get left open, or if there's a jailbreak attempt and the party come, then maybe they'll, you know, we'll hear them enough to pop out. But if you don't think that would function on the
I don't know if it counts as magic or not. That's the thing.
Well, me neither. But I would think not. I think like that's just.
It depends if Kivi intervenes, because
like she's physically, she can't can't make her way into the area. Currently, you've sort of seen her think, you know, I think she's thought she could help and then realized that these wards are up and she can't pass through.
Can I just
all right, well,
that
Arno is going to think like Conrad here, right? So he's going to try this. You make the decision on whether it will work or not. I'll leave that with you.
Can I just point out that Bahamut has reached out and already shown me a vision, which implies that the divine can bypass the anti-magic field?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Mhm.
leave it with you, Matt.
Lawyered.
This is what
Lawyered.
Arno's
Lawyered.
gonna do. He's gonna stick his finger in the ring and then in the hole, touch tips with Cyril.
After securing consent, obviously.
Let's have a think about this.
And then he's going to use the ring's power and attempt to go into his safe space.
Okay. You touch tips. You put your fingers through. You touch tips. And nothing happens. You're Cyril's sort of kind of going, what's meant to happen? I don't understand. Or is why are we touching fingers?
Arno dies. Shit! Doesn't matter, Cyril. Doesn't matter. We'll just wait until my friends get here.
As you sort of slump down beside the wall, your plan sort of dashed, and you hear this sort of scratching sound. You hear this sort of kind of scratching sound, and it sounds like stone moving, and in the sort of corner of your cell, this sort of slab sort of kind of starts being lifted up and across. As you sort of look over, Tharavel's head pops up and sort of and sort of looks at you.
Yeah, I can't.
Arno,
Hello.
just sort of
Sorry.
wide-eyed, and then he quickly just looks again to the guard, and he looks back at Tharavel and he just goes,
Tharavel gets all excited and he's like, oh, jailbreak.
"If not, there's gonna be a jailbreak
somewhere in this town."
Oh,
Get
Harry.
in trouble. Don't you be around.
Arno will sort of pace, and he'll lay sort of on the floor, close to the moved slab, and he'll start sort of whisper down. He said, "He'll just, we need to find a way to get my brother out."
So, as far as the tunnels are concerned, are there other sort of routes that this tunnel, or is that basically where it takes us out? There's nowhere else to go.
I have not decided yet. This is the route you've taken, and this is because we're getting close to 11 anyway. This is the route you've taken, and this is where you've popped up. I'll decide on extra routes depending on where we're going. That being said, I'll at this moment in time, a jailbreak. If you're going to if you're going for sort of leaving leaving the place and stuff, just obviously understand that is going to cause a bit of an uproar in this place. So just I'm happy for you to go whatever direction you want to go in, but just be mindful about what you are doing.
What else is in my room other than
It's got like an old, it's an old cell where a monk used to be and stuff. It's got a table, a rudimentary sort of kind of hard bed with straw mattress. It's got a few sort of emblems of Bahamut sort of strewn around the place.
there's no like paper or pens or
No, there's sort of
anything
like
that.
a wax sort of very like a wax candle sort of burning sort of on the table. There's it's like a pewter plate and some cutlery that a fork.
All right. So after Arno says we need to get his brother out as well, he'll sort of add, and he'll say, the false Hydra spore has got out. It was why Cyril what he was. He was under the influence. His mind is clear now. But this is why the High Paladin was so incensed.
Tharval's face just completely drops. Like he having sort of with the whole augury thing comes flying back. The whole thing just
It's like, nope.
just puts the slab back. Okay, see you later. Goes.
Okay, bye now. Bye then.
Just slides back into the head. Brilliant.
Yeah, so Thorvald's he's kind of taken back by this, but at the same time it's something that they've dealt with before, so they know just how to deal with it. But he's kind of he basically he's they're sort of trying to lose their guard and everything like that, so they're kind of just surprised as to where they've popped up and everything like that, but they
found more.
yeah sort of they're making it up as they go. They're like, we don't really have a plan.
That's never stopped us before.
Plan? What's that?
But I think there's the kind of of the opinion that although he did get excited for like jailbreak, it's probably not the best idea until they have something more solid in place. If the concerns of the High Paladin is due to a false Hydra, then it's best to stay in their good books, so that we can help when they need it.
Anna says, we're fine here. I've been locked down, though, in more ways than one. Ashclanch, what are they likely to do to me and my brother? For I don't believe I have committed any grave crime. Just perhaps one of carelessness. Is there a chance they will release us after he calms down? Lance should know the way of things.
I do not know, my friend. But don't beat yourself up. This is not your doing. At least, not intentional. You wanted to see your brother. I was going to say that I'm glad to see it wasn't only my reunion with my brother was quite as dramatic. Family, eh? We do it because we love them. He sort of looks back at Ceravel and sort of gives him a nod.
He waves his fist.
But worry not. We will find the others and we will come back to you. At least we have options. We know where these tunnels lead to.
If you can find me an angle and tell me what I should say, I can talk my way out of this. but now I just don't know.
Tharaval, he starts to sort of he sort of starts to be a bit more serious. He can see the anguish and the sort of fear in Arno's face, and he doesn't really know what to say to him. He's kind of lost for words for once.
As you're sort of sat there and Arno's looking, uncharacteristically lost, you hear some footsteps coming down the stairs towards the cells.
But I hear from
You hear
towards
you
cells.
hear footsteps
Okay.
coming downstairs. Yeah.
Arno very quickly sort of turns to look, and he says, "You have to go, quick. Someone's coming." But wait, I saw Kibby. She had concern when I was coming down here. There's something else in the air. Now go. And he sort of helps to place this slab back, and just throws himself onto the bed and sits with his back against the wall.
As you do that, you hear the guards sort of stand to salute. You hear the voice of the High Paladin, and he sort of looks in at you, and says nothing. He then goes to your brother's cell and says, "Take him." And they open up the cell and grab Cyril. Cyril says, "Brother, help me." He says, "Take him with me. Come on, let's go." And they sort of
Arno leaps up. He was just trying to sit very cool and non-reactive, but as soon as he hears him taking his brother, he'll run up to the cell gate and he'll be like, "Where are you taking him? Take me instead. He's done nothing wrong. He was under the influence.
Under the
Great evil."
The High Paladin stops, and he looks down. He's sort of kind of looking down at the ground and looking back slightly, and he says, "His presence here is a risk to this facility and to the war as a whole. I'm sorry."
The evil has left him, I assure you.
He you can tell there's some sort of, you can tell there's some anguish in his voice. He's not an unreasonable person, but he's a duty-bound he's a duty-bound paladin, and he knows what he has to do. He doesn't say anything. He just straightens himself up and says, "Let's go." And he takes your brother, and they start to move upstairs.
Arno sort of shakes the bars and he says, "At least let me go with him. Please. I don't care where you take us. I cannot lose him again."
He looks he looks at you and says, "I trusted you, Arno. I gave you shelter, counsel, supply, and you put this place at risk, understanding what great evil was within your brother's hands. My trust in you and your words is tarnished. Maybe one day it will be redeemed. But for now, I have a higher purpose to see to. We have a war to win, the safety of this complex, and it starts here. And he just starts walking up the stairs.
Arnold just go, I don't know.
Oh no! You got he's
froze there for a second.
Out.
How did I freeze? I
When
did,
you were shouting something, and then you.
I shouted, I didn't know. And then when he sees them go, he sort of rattles the bars once more, and then he runs quickly back to the slab, and he'll put his mouth against the wall, and he'll just go. Just to see if there's any chance he's still
We'll have to find out next week. I guess it's 11 o'clock now. I guess it's time to sort of. That's a good ending point for it.
Cliffy.
Good Cliffy for it. Right. Yeah. Unless anybody else wants to do anything quickly before we finish.
No.
Fireball farts. Take them all. Have a present. Remember me.
It's all
Thinking loud.
coming back to me.
Right, yeah. So cool. Good sesh, lady and gents. Good to be back. For tonight, I've been Matt Geary. With me has been Conrad as Arnold Jerkel.
good night.
Michael Starvel Eldon.
Good night, good night.
I was so tempted to drop him in at the end of this and stuff. I thought, it's way too soon if he pops up, so I'll have to leave him for another moment at some point. We have Jace's brother Gadden.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
We have Lecky as Bartholomew Pringle.
Trivia time. Some monks sleep in cells. That kept me highly amused when you were like, it's an old cell. It's a cell where a monk used to sleep. It was like, oh, mate, this is hilarious.
Mark as Lance.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen.
Yes, mate.
And Vic as Saren Sanguine.
Just 1 week. 1 week, I would like to not choke on my food.
Then don't eat while we're talking.
Night, everybody.
Good night.